You can travel around the Earth 8 times in a second if you travel at the speed of light. And if you were to travel to the closest star at that speed, it would take you 3 years. And if you were to name every star in the galaxy, just our galaxy, one a second, didn't sleep, it would take you 3,000 years. And there are 2 trillion galaxies. And so the idea that I get really stressed about a presentation about a book seems kind of silly.
What Alex Hormozi is talking about is basically the perspective of, as Carl Sagan says, that we are a tiny dot, an insignificant tiny dot in space, which is got trillions and vast magnitude which you can't even imagine. It's infinite, right? Truly infinite is the size of the universe. So of course, if you look at any individual perspective, even your timeline is nothing but an insignificant dot in the whole timeline of the universe, right? No matter what you do, your future generations, say 10 generations or 20 generations down the line, you will not be remembered. Who do we know from, say, minus 5000 BC, for example? No one, right? If you go enough generations further, legacy also does not matter. And overall, considering the size of the planet, you might be tempted to think of it that, you know what, it's insignificant, which is fine. This is an existentialist view of the universe. But at the same time, we have to create our own game to have fun in it, right? So our game might be that, oh, we want to leave a legacy. We want to build wealth. We want to be the best at something or the other, right? We want to have power, which is how we are kind of wired. If you want to be happy, you will have to become powerful. You will have to become wealthy. You'll have to take care of your health. You'll have to be strong. You'll have to have mental resilience. And you'll have to have a perspective of the beauty of the universe and the vastness of the universe. So all that has to be put together to get the perfect combination. That's the way I view it.
The worst thing that can happen for you, even in social media, is that you become too familiar and people kind of think that you're just like anybody else and they get sick of you, which is very easy to happen, right? Just too much of you on social media every day and there's nothing special about it. And the other thing is, it's how you present yourself. So if you're so familiar that everybody knows what you eat in the morning, how you dress yourself, if that camera's on you 24/7, there's no mystery around you at all. You're so familiar, you're so banal, there's no extra presence to you, there's no glamour. So learn to create some mystery around you. Mystery, where people don't really know what you're up to, is a form of saying less than necessary, where you make people think about you when you're not there. Just being aware that revealing everything about yourself isn't really a sustainable form of power.
Robert Greene, who is the author of 48 Laws of Power, and these days he's also come on his YouTube, and I think he has more than 2 million subscribers already, right? He's a very well-known figure and very deep thinker, and he is quite rational in most of the things that he says, right? And he's right here where he talks about the fact that you have to leave some mystery, right? You can't have everything, even in this day and age where streamers who are streaming for like 10 hours, like Aiden Ross, they have accumulated a lot of wealth. But still, it's not necessary that even if you have a lot of airtime and show yourself on video, you don't need to necessarily reveal everything and be a complete open book. There is a space for mystery. In fact, in the olden days, kings used to, for this particular reason, to maintain that power dynamic, actually be inaccessible to the public. Now, of course, things are changing. You have people like Kate and Prince Charles and Prince William, who are actually projecting a very much more accessible and, we are just like you commoners kind of vibe now. So things are changing, but dynamics remain the same, right? You have to still make sure that you maintain that air of mystery, which is a very critical portion in actually letting you retain power, which is, as we all know, crucial for you to do well and thrive in the current world and in the world in general.
3 books that every person should read if they have any interest in being successful.
So I'll give a list. Yeah, I would say I think the first one is Peter Drucker's Managing Oneself. If you can't manage yourself, all the training in the world won't do anything. I think a great business book, just like a hardcore business book. I have a mentor named Tillman Fertitta. He owns the Houston Rockets. He's a Forbes list guy. And it's just a real practical business book. Third one would be Dr. David Buss's textbook called Evolutionary Psychology. It's not a regular textbook. It's so interesting. You can flip to any page, read one page, and you will feel 100 times smarter. And it's about human interaction. So the other book I would throw in there, is kind of a personal hero, is Arnold Schwarzenegger's autobiography. He wrote a book. It's so good. I love Arnold.
3 books that every person.
David Buss's Evolutionary Psychology is something that I've also come across, but I haven't read. Arnold Schwarzenegger, I mean, what a guy, right? He accomplished so much on the power of belief, really, right? A lot to learn from Arnold. He became Mr. Olympia, I think, or succeeded in bodybuilding, then got into acting with an accent where nobody would actually let him in, right? And somehow managed with pure belief and trust in himself and the right action, got himself into roles like, those iconic roles, including Terminator. And there were a few before that as well, which I really love, where he goes on an island, rescues his daughter, goes and, shoots everyone, which is insane, right? What a movie. One of my favorite movies. And then he gets into politics and becomes governor of California. Real inspiration. And his bodybuilding book is also pretty good. And let us check out which book Tai Lopez was also talking about. Tai Lopez is the original guy who used to promote reading a lot of books, right? He used to have this ad saying that here I am in my garage with my Ferrari or Lamborghini, I don't know what it was. And this is back in the day, like 5-6 years back or 7-8 years back. And he was one of the original digital marketers in that sense.